Dude, so like you were talking about your stomach though.
Yeah.
Like what's going on with your stomach?
Dude.
Have you figured out anything else since we last spoke about it?
Yeah. So, I tell you I got a colonoscopy back in November.
No.
Weird. Very weird.
Yeah.
Weird for the fact that I don't remember shit. Because I
Right.
was not.
And just a man waking up,
Dude.
looking down on you.
It was like when I was at the doctor's and they were getting me like ready.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't nervous or anything until they start like wheeling me on like the room. I'm like, dude, I've only seen this shit in movies. Like,
yeah.
I'm sitting there and I'm going into like the operating room, but like I get in there and there's like two nurses, I guess they're all nurses, but it's like two chicks, two dudes, and then the guy who's actually gonna do like the colonoscopy on me. And I've never been under, so like that was what I was like most nervous for.
Yeah.
And do you hear the static?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, just okay. Never mind.
There you go.
Yeah.
And like they like push me in, and as soon as like I'm there, I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to get a little nervous. Like this shit's kind of like scary.
Yeah.
But one of the nurses was like, she was being really nice, and she was like pretty comforting. She's like, you like, don't worry, like you're fine, just like kind of relax. And they like hooked me up to like the anesthesia, and the guy's like, all right, I'm gonna have you like turn over to your left because you know they gotta stick something up my.
Yeah. That's right.
So like I go over, he goes, all right, start breathing, give me 3 breaths. And I go 1, 2, dude, next thing I know, I'm waking up and I'm like, what the fuck?
Wow.
And it was so weird. It wasn't scary, but I was like, I've never like, I was.
Yeah, just going out and then coming back so quick.
Yeah. It felt like it was like 30 seconds, but it was like a whole 40 minutes.
Wow.
Anyway.
Dude, that's intense. But what'd you find?
So they found that I have a mild case, like very mild case of ulcerative colitis, basically just like inflammation in the like bowel.
Right.
And once that happened, like this is the 3rd time that it like flares up. But the first time it was like pretty bad. The second time it was probably the worst. Mm-hmm. This time I like, because I now knew what I had, I like, as soon as I felt it like getting inflamed, I like went super strict into like what I was eating.
Go ahead.
I instantly like went. So I think the reason why it flared up to begin with was I was trying to put on weight, so I was eating a ton, and so that meant like I was snacking throughout the day, and I guess my digestive system just can't handle like the like constantly having to work throughout the day to like digest all the food that I'm eating.
Right.
And on top of that, I was like, I had kind of cut out coffee, and I drank coffee that weekend like 3 days in a row, which I don't do anymore. I like completely cut coffee out of my like diet. But it started to like happen, and so I went strict into like intermittent fasting and no snacking in between my meals, so like my digestive system gets a break. And then I added a lot of berries, a lot of papaya. Apparently papaya is like really good for like digestive stuff.
Okay. Shit.
So I started eating a lot of that, and basically I pretty much cut out like all processed food, like all spices, which I love spicy food, but like, I mean, I can't eat it. So it's just like, I cut all that out, and anything that was going to like inflame my stomach. And right now, like what I'm doing is like, I'm drinking some type of kombucha like once or twice a week, to kind of just like give healthy bacteria to my gut.
Right.
But dude, it gets bad. Like when it flares up, like I lose a ton of weight from just like having to go to the bathroom all the time. Yeah. I'm super dehydrated. I wake up like 4 times in the night. So like I'm tired all the fucking time. My like sex drive goes down because I'm just like dehydrated. Like it's bad. It gets really bad.
What do you think started it or caused it?
Man, honestly, I don't know, because I don't think they don't know what like causes it, but I'm sure it's just like, my dad told me he had it when he was younger, and Mexican remedies, my like grandma is like, you're fucking eating papaya for like 2 weeks straight. And he's like, dude, I did that shit and it was never came back.
That's hilarious.
Never came back.
That's so funny.
So I didn't do that, but
but it would have worked. Maybe.
it probably would have worked. I mean, the papaya, once I started to eat it, it definitely like helped a lot. So like there is something to it.
And is it what necessarily is, or essentially what is the mechanism in the papaya that makes you
it has
heal up or whatever?
I forgot what it's called, but there's like one thing that helps coat the lining of your gut.
Okay. So what
it's
you're
like
trying to do is create more of a lining.
Yes.
Because your lining has kind of been deteriorated.
Screwed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the majority of people need to do that.
Yeah. I agree.
They're lying just because the diets and the antibiotics that you take, you're already screwed.
Destroys everything.
All the lining is destroyed, and your gut bacteria is like, all the bad stuff that's craving all the bad foods.
Yeah. So just in case people don't know this, like I'm not saying don't take antibiotics because there's moments where like they're very useful, but an antibiotic.
We're just saying don't take vaccines. But go ahead.
An antibiotic kills all bacteria. It doesn't care whether it's good bacteria, bad bacteria. It's going to kill all bacteria. So you have to do stuff to like regrow that like healthy bacteria.
Right. Yeah.
But I think in my case, I think it was just a lot of fucking snacking and like I eat clean, but like I also was snacking a lot on like fucking candy and like chips because I wanted to gain weight. So I needed the extra calories.
So you were still eating high sugar? I mean, you're a soccer player, dude.
Yeah, I wouldn't say necessarily high sugar. I know, high sugar because it's processed food.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like you and Courtney have the same issue, like translating or just transferring into a new diet post hard soccer season. Because like she's like, when I met her, she was in season and just gorging
Everything.
I couldn't fix her enough food. You know what I mean? It was crazy. And I feel, and she had a big like transition when she got out of college, changing her diet up. She's like, I've gained weight. And it's just like 3 pounds. But like to a soccer player that's like burning 4,000 calories a day, it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Post college, it was very weird to have to like reorganize my diet.
Yeah.
But even now, like I even now I find it because I still have somewhat the same level of activity. Okay, not the same level of activity. That's a lie. I was way more active in college because I had to be.
Yeah.
But I'm still very active. So like trying to gain weight for me is hard because I have to eat a ton of food. But eating a lot of food is hard.
Yeah.
Like it's really
That's
hard.
the hardest thing about getting big.
Yeah.
It's
so
the food.
much food.
I've got a client that's would not be mentioned. He's not old enough to be mentioned on my podcast. I think he just turned 18, but he's trying to get big. And he's like 170, but he's like 6'2".
Okay. So
he's just a tall, lanky kid. And I'm like, dude, you got to eat so much. And like his BMR is like 3,000.
Oh, so he's got to eat
just like
food.
Maybe like 20. I don't know. It's crazy. But he can't eat enough. There's no way. Yeah. It's just like physically, he needs to do a cycle of steroids. That's what he needs. That's the only thing that's going to get him to the goals that he wants. Yeah, like 20 pounds of solid muscle. Okay, come here, bend over. Let me give you this shot in the ass.
Dude, it's hard, man.
Because without that, you're never going to be able to eat enough. Because you need your metabolism like boosted.
Yeah. So
that you can eat more. Even though you feel like you could eat a lot he needs to eat 4,000 calories.
Which is a lot.
That's much food, dude.
Unless you're eating
like Snicker bars,
like
that's maybe like 10 Snicker bars.
Yeah.
Maybe 8. You know what I mean?
Which is still hard. You probably feel like shit.
Right. Oh, you just feel awful, but it's just that the calories are so dense in that shitty bar. I mean, it's at least like what the king size is like 500.
Yeah.
Right? So 8 of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 8 of those Snicker bars, that would be hard. But like if you were actually going to eat real food, like raw food and stuff like oh my gosh, that'd be so hard because there's more of it.
Yeah.
Your stomach's...
Dude, my breakfast is 4 eggs, piece of toast, hash brown, maybe some fruits.
Yeah.
Which is like when I look at it's a lot of food, but it's like 700 calories, 600 calories.
Yeah.
Which is not a lot.
No, it's not a lot.
Which is 1 Snickers bar.
Right. Yeah.
King size.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's hard to gain weight for me right now. But I think GT might have just gotten what I got.
That's exactly what he got.
Yeah.
I texted him. He was like, "Yeah, that's what I got."
Yeah. Ulcerative colitis. There you go.
Yeah. So it's like a combination of eating, of your lining being destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess it's not a combination. I guess that is it.
But there's different ones, because ulcerative colitis, I think I may get this wrong, but I think it's a form of IBS, and there's two forms of it. It's ulcerative colitis, which is what I have, and then there's one more. But they are both there. It's just an inflammation in the colon,
Not endometriosis.
No,
that's something different entirely. But yeah, I feel like that's what I've had for years. But didn't really understand what was going on. Yeah. And then when I started changing my diet up and just eating healthier, it took that away. Yeah, pretty much.
So that's what I've had to do. I've had to like really be aware of that.
Yeah. But I feel like most importantly, people should like do some type of gut, not cleanse, but like refertilization. Mm-hmm. And no one ever talks about that.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Like the ability for your stomach to absorb nutrients, it's going to improve your energy, your sleep, your mind.
And what's crazy is like most people like don't realize like that they're low energy or like that stuff is happening because of their gut, because you cannot absorb your food. Yeah, like the nutrients you get from the food.
Yeah, it just feels normal.
Yeah,
it's become normal. Yeah, isn't that crazy, dude? Like you're eating. Actually, you're doing all the right things that you should be doing. You're eating all the right foods. You just can't absorb any of the nutrients. Yeah. Sorry about that.
How shitty is that?
That's pretty. I mean, it's pretty tough because I've got a client. We've talked about this before, and she had gastric bypass surgery because she had been obese at a certain point, 300 plus pounds, and when she got the surgery, lost the weight, started eating healthy, and then her stomach was still messed up. She was just like, well, what's going on? Like, I'm doing everything.
Yeah.
And you literally are doing everything. And it's like, oh, but wait, all those years where you were like eating foods that would like deteriorate your gut lining, that's what happened. Yeah. And now you can't even absorb the good food that you're eating. It's like, dang, so what do I got to do now? Well, you just got to do...
Reset it.
Yeah, reset it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as complicated as people think it is. I mean, I've never like done it, but I have a protocol of like probiotics and like... some type of husk. You know what I'm talking
about? I'm not too familiar with husk.
Yeah, some type of husk, and then some berries and stuff. It's like a combination, like smoothie that you just kind of put together every day.
And that's good, man. Everyone should do this. Everyone.
Yeah, everybody.